So you've had the 2 week break from matches. I know one of the targets coming into this, you wanted to work on the fitness, and I suppose as well, just getting the likes of Jack Marriott and Jonson Clark-Harris working together on the training ground. Have you been able to do that?
Yeah, not just those two. I mean, they definitely needed to improve the sharpness, the fitness. Dem's the same, because he's been in and out. Jack Taylor, another one. So it's given us an opportunity to do that. We had a good game on Friday, 90 minutes, that they all got through unscathed. So I think we should be in a better position than when we were starting the West Brom game.
Yeah, I know when you spoke with Alan Swan for the PT the other day, you were talking about with Jonson Clark-Harris, the frustration really of not knowing what's going on with the FA hearing. How does that work? As we speak now, is he definitely available for the weekend? Can they suddenly phone you up? How does that work?
I don't know, is the answer. I really don't know. None of us do. It's a bit of a strange one. We're in the unknown here because it's something we haven't been through before. As we stand, he's available for Saturday, but we don't know what's going to happen before Saturday. So I've just got to do my job and presume that he's going to be available and treat it that way until someone tells me different.
With his own sort of mentality and staying level-headed, is he pretty good at that? Is he good at putting it to one side?
Yeah, he'll treat it exactly as I am, in terms of until we know different, he's going to be available, and he's going to be, in the squad for Saturday.
Does it change too much in the sense of, would you always have a plan A and a plan B and a plan C anyway ready to go? It doesn't change it presumably too much in that sense?
No, there's always more than one plan, and there's always personnel that will fill in. I'd like to think we don't get told at half two you can't play on Saturday. I mean, I'd like to think I've got a bit of time to work with. My own thinking is that if we don't get told anything today, I'm presuming he's definitely going to be available for Saturday. I think it would be a little bit unfair if they told us the day before the game, given the amount of preparation that would go into it. But if that was the case, then obviously I would deal with that accordingly.
And with Jack Taylor, played the second half against West Brom a couple of weeks back, which was obviously great for him as he continued to progress well.
Yeah, you've got to be careful with Jack, in terms of where he's at. But yeah, obviously a big bonus from getting 45 minutes against West Brom. Came through it fine. The big thing for us was there was no reaction with a hamstring, so that was a big positive for him.
With Connor Coventry, is today the first time that he's been in?
Yeah, Connor's come in this morning. He's had 2 games with Ireland, nearly both full games. Feels good, looks good. Had a good chat with him yesterday. He's watched the training today. He'll take part tomorrow. So where he's at, he's fit, and he's been playing games, so that's important.
With Ollie Norburn, I know it was partly down to the booking, but also picked up a knock in the first part of the West Brom game. Has he been okay after that?
Ollie's been absolutely fine. 2 things in that game, like you've just said. Probably the injury more than the booking, because he was sort of struggling a little bit from first minute. He took a heavy knock on his ankle and he couldn't really put any weight on it at half time. I probably would have given him another 15 minutes, I think, if that wasn't the case. But I was also mindful that I had Jack on the bench, and also that he had been booked in a game where there was tackles, there was a physical game, so it probably made my decision a little bit easy.
Yeah, and aside from the injury issues that you've had over the sort of past couple of weeks with Mark Beavers and from Ricky J. Jones as well, are you pretty happy with where you're at?
Yeah, we're okay. I mean, look, it's part and parcel. It's not just us that are getting injuries. We're not the only football team that will get them. We're not the only football team that will have disruptions through COVID and things like that. In terms of, it's still there, and you're going to have to deal with certain things like that, and you're going to have to deal with injuries. It's part and parcel of the game. I mean, last season we had an incredible record with our injuries. We were fantastic in a very testing year, so it sort of works this way where you're injury free, and then all of a sudden you get 2 or 3. So everyone's the same, and you have to deal with it. That's why we've got the squad we have. Obviously with Connor coming in, that ties the squad up completely. I'm very happy with it. We've got good competition, and once everyone's up to speed.
With Sheffield United, they were relatively busy ahead of the transfer deadline, and a couple of players who've been away on international duty, so I guess it will be interesting to see whether or not they chuck them straight in.
Yeah, several away with the internationals, a lot more than us, which can be a bit of a problem, but new manager's gone in there. They've obviously not started how they wanted to. I've watched them. A team full of absolute quality. an abundance of players. He's brought in Houlihan and Gibbs White to add to that. So yeah, it'll be a big test. It's a team full of Premiership players, in my opinion.
It shows as well the importance of momentum, doesn't it? In that you look through that squad, and so much of it, the squad that did so well in the Premier League a couple of seasons back, but you can have momentum going the right way and also the wrong way as well, seemingly.
Yeah, it's a big club, and they've had some changes since obviously Chris left a while ago, and they went through an incredible run. Incredible, and the way they played was fantastic to watch and really hard to play against. The last home game, they sort of went back to that a little bit against Huddersfield. They've chopped and changed a little bit in formation, but look, they're a team full of quality. There's no doubt. You can't get away from that. It's going to be but for me, it's a game that we go and enjoy and go and have no fear and go and play how we want to play. There's no point in going to these places playing with fear. It's never going to work that way. In the end, the quality will beat you. You got to go and play the game we want to play. You got to play, with the ball and take the ball in tight situations. We're taking a big following there, and it's a game we must all look forward to. I know I am. It's a fantastic football stadium, and I keep going back to it. The two teams that I would imagine, you can never be too sure. The two teams that I think will be roundabout it, Cardiff and West Brom. We've dealt with them really well. They're two big teams in this league. And we've got to have a similar performance against Sheffield United, albeit it'll be a very different game tactically.
Yeah, so in summary, really, although you'd like more points from what you've seen over that opening segment of the season, particularly with some of the issues in the background, you'd be keen for the players to look at what went well, take those positives and be heartened by the good bits?
Well, when I've had time to analyse the 5 games we've had, 3 at home, 2 away, certainly the home performances have been better than away. If we were to play like we did at Luton in the first half against Preston, we're going to give ourselves more problems. So we've really looked at that and analysed that and focused on that in terms of about us on the ball as opposed to us without the ball. And that's how we're going to treat the game on Saturday. We have to get that bit right because you need to be good on the ball and brave on the ball on Saturday.
What do you think are there any obvious factors behind that in terms of fans being about the home and away difference? What have you really looked at with the difference between home and away?
I think we've been more energised at home. I certainly feel that. We've had more energy in terms of pressing at home, and so that we have to find a way how we do that away from home. So it's something that obviously I've got to make a decision on and work out. In saying that, we probably should have got something towards the end of the game at Preston, but it's certainly, for me, I'm looking at then analysing and watching the games back. We need to be better on the ball away from home because that causes its own problems. Once it gives the home team encouragement. 2, it gets the fans up. These are all things we have to take care of on Saturday because I know they're very vocal at Sheffield United, but it can quite quickly turn the other way.
And I suppose all of the time keeping in mind that actually it's only a sample of 2 away games so far, so it is only very